Once in a while, put your sack on the track, ho.
You acting funny, like it's some kind of game. State it up, sir, in front of my name. I keep my head up, keep getting better. This rap god, I'm going platinum again. You acting funny, like it's some kind of game. State it up, sir, in front of my name. Dominating your domicile, in and out just like a robbery. Call the cops now.
Well, welcome everybody to Let the Record Spin, episode number 3.
Oh, you tiki now? Go ahead, light your torch.
Hip Hop Radar Underground Show.
Lego.
Sit back, relax, don't go act a fool. We gon' puff some weed and keep on acting cool. I'm on that chill shit, always keeping it real shit. The vibes going up like the smoke in the room, cuz
It's the Hip Hop Radar Underground Show. This the Hip Hop Radar Underground Show.
Yo, SGR crew, what is good? How are you doing this evening? Welcome back to Hip Hop Radar Underground. I am Sack Juggalo, and today we got another VIP for you. Today, we got the one and only Wolf 7 in the house. Man, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great tonight, man. I'm glad you had me on. After the couple minutes we talked before, I think this is gonna go really well, man.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be like two homies that I ain't even fucking kicked it for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Elena G is in the house. Come here, Elena. Give me that hug. Come on. That's that good stuff. How are you doing this evening? I hope you're doing well. We are, closing up the weekend with another fantastic interview. I've been listening to this dude's music, and he does it all, folks. I'm telling you, if you like a wide range of music, which I know you do, you got to hit the link in the description. He does rap, he does rock, he plays a shit ton of different instruments. You do some country too?
I would say there's a few things probably border on that. My last single, my big single that I released this year was probably bordering on country.
Nice.
It's kind of singer-songwriter acoustic, so.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because if you're sticking to one genre, and that's fine if you do, you know what I'm saying? But you have other things in your heart that you want to get out and you're not confident about doing it, do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I always say, just do it, man. Put it down and practice it. If that's what's in your heart, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you got everything that you could possibly have out there, just to make sure that you are good. Because I know for a lot of artists that this shit is therapy.
Yeah, it's 100%. Like I've said this probably too many times,
Pookie.
and anybody that knows me is probably, again, they probably heard it. But like, I make music for me. I don't make music for anybody else.
Right.
Ultimately, music started, or I don't want to go all the way back to the beginning, but my current.
Oh, we're going to go back to the beginning. Don't even trip.
Right. Right. But just as in to be brief in the intro here, like the last 3 years of me releasing music is the only reason I am alive. Literally 100%, I would have fucking killed myself without music. And it has nothing to do with actually releasing it. It has nothing to do with anybody listening to it. It has nothing to do with anybody liking it. I've had fucking 100,000 monthly streams on Spotify, and then I've had 6 months with fucking one. I don't give a shit about any of it. I make music for me. And the fact that anybody else relates to it in any way or enjoys it, appreciates it any way that they do, I'm grateful, but I don't ask for it.
And that's the exact mindset that you have to go in with anything that you do, any one of your passions, whether it's creating a business or doing some podcasting or whatever it is, because you're going to go through those moments where if you're doing it for the numbers and if you're doing it trying to please people, it's not going to work out. You have to show your true self. You know what I'm saying? And these people, man, these people in the chat, they understand that better than anybody. You know what I'm saying? They understand that if I'm sitting up here fake, if you're sitting up here fake, you know what I'm saying, trying to bullshit everybody, they're just gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody want to be fucking lied to. You know. Hey, Aline, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. Big salute. Always love. Always love. Pookie, I see you too. And how you doing, girl? It's been a minute. I'm glad you guys came through and hung out with us tonight. We got some music to run through. We got the one and only motherfucking Wolf 7, which I want to ask you, man, how'd you come up with Wolf 7?
Well, it was actually my last call sign in my last deployment in Afghanistan.
First off, let me thank you for your service, my guy. For real.
Oh yeah, it was my pleasure. Yeah, it was my platoon's call sign was Wolf, and I was 7 because 7 is just 7. Anything in the military, the highest ranking non-commissioned officer of whatever the unit is always 7. So like a platoon sergeant is 7, a first sergeant 7, sergeant major, so on and so forth. So I was a platoon sergeant. So my call sign was Wolf 7. And when I first started getting ready to release music, it was just the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, what do I want for a brand? I was like, fuck, Wolf 7. It's that simple.
I like it. Wait a second. It explains who you are, you know, getting that, because I've been wanting to ask you about that. I'm trying to make you moderator since we got an interview with you. You get that motherfucking wrench gang status, my guy. There we go. Yes, Rock On is in the house. Gary Hubs is here, man. Another rocker dude. Man, I like Gary Hubs' work too, man. That dude's nice, man.
Yeah, we're working on a collab right now.
That's what I'm talking about. Kobe fan is in the motherfucking building. What's up, Kobe? Good to see you, bro. Big salute, homie. Yeah, man. So let's take a little trip back in the day, man. When you was a little tyke running around, you know, the house, and your parents may got the radio on. What was your parents listening to?
I don't really remember my mom's musical influence. My dad was pretty much my big, in terms of music influence. It was more my dad. He was a musician also, but he, between him, my uncles on that side of the family that I spent a lot of time with, my dad's family, they were just very into music, even the non-musicians in the family. So I know people say this shit and it's like, what, you listen to? No, but really, I listen to everything. And my dad and my uncles were the kind of guys where even if it was like a really huge artist, like it was like Led Zeppelin or something, a big band that everybody knows, they were the type, they'd go and they'd be like, hey, check this out. This is some unreleased demo of 30 seconds of them fucking trying something. They were those kind of people. It was like, even with big artists, they were showing me the tracks you'd never hear on the radio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And long story. I don't know how much you are familiar with my actual childhood, but I was actually raised in a cult.
Oh wow.
And I was very abusive.
Oh man.
So I am at a point in my life now where I'm very, very healed and okay. And so it's strange for some people because I can separate the things, as in like I can talk about my dad and the things that were positive, even though overall he is a horrible human being. So just to be clear up front, so especially there's a lot of people in the chat that are pretty familiar with that part of my story. So, but my dad still, that was an important part of something he did do for me though, was he did get me listening to just a incredibly varied music, not just, you know, varied in different genres, but even within genres. Like, here's shit that no radio station has played. Here's a band that this song like nobody's heard, that kind of thing, man. So it definitely feeds the diversity and variety and the stuff that I do now. And it's why I'm not afraid to do it either. Like, I think there's enough people out there that have an appreciation for music in general. Personally, I can appreciate something that I really don't enjoy listening to, but I can appreciate parts of it, elements of it. I can appreciate the drum track, or I can appreciate the talent in in some instrument that's in it. Even if overall the feel and the vibe isn't me, I can still usually take away things from a song that are positive. And that's one thing I think that really an important positive thing out of the very few positive things that came out of my childhood.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And having a diverse background in music like that, it really does, at least for me, because I have my parents, they really listen to like classic rock and fucking country, and that was pretty much it. But when I was young, I heard rap on the radio for the first time, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? This is blowing my mind, you know? How you could talk to somebody and it still be a song. Like, it was kind of, cool to see. And I'm an old piece of shit, so I'm like so I got my my stepmom listening to Motown, I got my dad listening to the classic rock, I got my mom listening to the country, you know what I'm saying? So I take elements from all that, and then I put my own shit in it too, because I love hip hop. I have ever since I heard it the very first time, because that's my number one shit now. But I can find appreciation in all of it, you know? Even stuff that I may not fuck with, like mumble rap or club music, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand there's a time and place for everything. I'm an old motherfucker, so I ain't going to the club. There's really no reason why I'm listening to that, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. It'd be an accident if I was in a club right now.
Facts. I'd have to be roofied up or something, man.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They're like, no, you're too old. You can't come in here. There's an age limit on this fucking place, man. Like, come on, dude. I ain't that old. Nah, you got gray beard, dog. You too old. Like,
yeah, hip hop. That's interesting you bring that up. Like, because hip hop is definitely very, very important to me. It's obviously the thing that I dabble in the least in my own music, but hip hop has always been big for me. I guess it's kind of weird to think about it. When I think back, though, I don't really think of hip hop throughout my teen years and my childhood before that as being a big part at the time, but it really was just as big a part of anything else. I think I grew up in an area, despite the like abuse of my childhood. My parents were pretty affluent, and I grew up in an area where there was no hip hop culture. It was only what you saw on MTV and shit like that. But it still became a huge thing, even just from the radio, and again, of course, TV. MTV at that time. I'm 40, almost 41. So when I was a teenager, MTV was actually music, still at that time. So, hip, all of
About then, you would probably listen to some motherfucking Poison,
Yeah.
some Twisted Sister, some Van
Yeah.
Halen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit.
Yeah, and the early hip hop that started getting big. You know,
Right.
one of the that those were the days. I love those days of hip hop, man, because everything was samples. Like it was just like, what are we doing? Well, let's work with something we have here. They made it. I loved that. I loved that era of hip hop.
Yeah.
But yeah, but either way, it's kind of interesting because I didn't have any of that culture physically around me at all, where the way I grew up and where I grew up. But it still has such an impact that even today at 41 years old, I choose to make a hip hop song every now and then just because just because I feel like it, you know. So I mean, it obviously had a lot bigger influence than I think I realized.
That's dope because that doesn't put you in any type of box. I mean, hip hop is so influential, and like you said, in the early stages of hip hop, there was a lot of sampling,
Yeah.
and that's why I think hip hop works so well with so many different genres. I mean, even back, Run DMC was fucking with Aerosmith, you know what I'm saying, and Public Enemy was fucking with Anthrax, you know what I'm saying, like.
Well, that's like now you have everything: deathcore, country rap,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
basically anything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's cool, man. I really appreciate it because you can really put a rock guitar behind a fucking hip hop verse no problem.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that
absolutely.
shit fire. And you, somebody who plays guitar, you know, so well, I imagine you probably just be like da 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 da. Then you
Well,
just probably start spitting
mean,
some shit.
I don't know how much you dug into my catalog, but when I first started releasing music, everything I did was instrumental. I hadn't sung in about 10 years when I started 3 years ago,
Okay.
and I was very timid and really didn't even know if I would sing again. So probably the first 25, 30 things I released were all instrumental, and a lot of it, what I did was I built hip hop beats and just played guitar instead of there being vocals.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is even in the very early stages when I had nothing following me, nothing listening, people from right from the beginning said to me, this is something they'd never really heard done. It's like, yeah, there's instrumental guitar.
Sure.
And there's certainly, you have completely instrumental trap. That's basically hip hop. It's just somebody making a beat, and there's no rap over it. But nobody'd ever really heard that, so it's still kind of a staple. Every now, like even my last EP I released this year, that's all instrumental. One of the tracks is exactly that. I made a fucking fire ass hip hop beat, and I just play guitar instead.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I did see some of your instrumentals on there. That's another thing I wanted to get into as well, the production side of it. Hey, Elaine, love you too, girl. Big salute, big salute. Are you taking off? If so, you have yourself a great rest of. You're actually in tomorrow. You're into Monday, I think. So no, you're here in America.
Oh,
Man, I forgot. Aline Perez. I can't remember, man. I smoke too much. Shout out to weed, man.
hey.
Yeah, it's my thought process be gone. You know? That's why I don't be writing this shit down, bro. Because I just like, I think freestyling is probably the best form of delivery. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I ain't right all the time and I'll be in the middle of a sentence and forget what the fuck I was going to go with it, I'm like, fuck it. Start over. We'll just do it right here. No cuts.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Facts.
That's it. Any of these guys on my live streams, man, I will be 3-4 sentences into some profound thought, and it's gone, and that's it. That's it. It's like, sorry.
Well, start over. Scrap that one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to weed, man. So, if you had to pick one person to do a collab with that has passed, who would that person be?
It's kind of a weird way to look at it just because of how long ago this is, but Jimi Hendrix is Jimi Hendrix is my ultimate influence in every way with everything I do with music. Because for me, it all starts with the guitar to begin with. Um, I, and I've gone over this with like people who follow my stuff about. I'm not too sure exactly the age. I was somewhere between 8, 10, somewhere when I started playing guitar. I'm not exactly sure. And when I got a guitar, even at that age, I got the guitar because I wanted to play Jimi Hendrix. I didn't want to learn power chords and play Green Day, which I did do because it's fucking badass. But
Right.
I got the guitar because I wanted to play Jimi Hendrix's music. Um, and he, for me, he's not the best guitarist that has ever played. Um,
But he definitely, I think, got on the
he's
soul level, he probably got the most soul. Besides maybe Carlos Santana, like that's probably pretty close. Or Steve
Right.
Vai, you know what I'm saying? Like those
Yeah,
some wonderful guitarists as well. But
I
Jimmy's pretty
just
fire.
yeah, but no, and don't get me wrong, he's incredible. It's more the style, the vibe. Even a lot of my music now, say something I have that's a little more along the lines of like metal or something. Right, metal is a unforgivingly precise genre of music. The math is everything in metal. But if you hear me play metal, especially my lead guitar, I will still be out of the pocket intentionally all over the place. I will be out of tempo intentionally. I still play like my influence is Jimi Hendrix, even when I play something where my play style should be completely different. And I do that usually on purpose because I can play however I need to play. But if I'm just playing and it's just coming out of me, it's going to be the most heavily influenced by Jimi Hendrix, and there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've had songs I've released, people I've never spoken to that didn't follow me anywhere, that came out of nowhere, that heard my song fucking on Spotify in some other country that say, I immediately thought of Jimi Hendrix in the first 3 notes.
That's what I'm
So
talking about.
I can't undo that in my just natural intuitive playing. But, obviously I do, and I do projects throughout the last year or two for other people where I have to do things a certain way. So I'm capable of it, but I'd rather just play what I feel. Most of my guitar solo work and lead work on my songs is one take, improvisational. I don't write lead guitar. I play it. Sometimes I'll play for hours before I figure out something I like. But the overwhelming majority of my music, the lead guitar in it is one take improvisation on the spot. As long as there's not a technical issue, that's the track that goes on.
That's fire. That's what's up. And you're right. Sometimes it may take you a few hours to get something to where you're like, okay, that's what I was looking for. But that's okay because that's just the dedication part, right?
Right. Yeah.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah. And not only
some songs,
I'm sorry.
some songs, I would say some songs take a day, some songs take a year. That's the kind of artist I am. I'm not on a timeline. If I feel good about it, I send it out.
that's the great part of letting what's actually in your heart out.
Right.
Instead of
Yeah.
trying to be like, I need to put something out. Let me just come up with something real quick. You're like,
Yeah.
there are people who want to hear your music, but they want to hear you, not a version
Exactly.
of you. That's
Exactly.
that's what's dope.
Yeah.
Jeremy's in the house. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you, brother. I hope you're having a great weekend, man. We back at it again with Wolf 7 Music, man. Make sure you guys take advantage of that link in the description. Now, not only the guitar you play, but you play a host of other instruments. Do you want to get into a couple for the people, let them know what you fuck with?
Yeah, I mean, basically, in a rock band, I can play anything show ready. Like, I can get on stage tonight and play bass, drums, guitar, keys for basically hundreds of fucking cover songs. But and then outside of, rock instruments, anything with strings that I've ever picked up, I can figure out pretty quick. I've never been the type I have no academic musical knowledge or training. Everything I've ever done has just been by ear and by feel and just figuring it out. So I'm sure, like, especially with orchestral stringed instruments like cellos and violas and violins, I'm probably not playing them right, but I play them and I get what I need out of them. So as far as I'm concerned, I play them.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, but anything I've ever tried to play, I can play. And the only things I really haven't messed with are like wind instruments, because I don't really have any interest, to be honest with you. That's one thing in music. I'm not too interested in the trombone or the saxophone or any of that stuff. Trumpet maybe, but that's about it.
Hell yeah. I try to play guitar. My homie was trying to teach me when we were kids. He was taking electric guitar lessons in school
Right.
and shit. And so he taught me. The only thing I ever learned on guitar was the beginning of Money from Pink Floyd. That was it.
Yeah. That's a classic. Learn. They used to, when I was a kid. What was it? It's like Guitar Magazine or some shit. Every month in that magazine, they have 5 full tablatures, like a full song, and it was always. But every now and then they'd have like the top 100 like guitar riffs of all time. So it was all the real simple stuff that almost anybody could just pick up and do it. And
Right.
yeah, it was so much fun playing that stuff though, man. Because you think of these guys sometimes as like they're these gods,
Masters
and
of
then,
the craft, yeah.
right? And then you realize it's 3 notes, dun, 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 dun. It's like,
But they make it sound so badass.
Yeah, it sounded great. Yeah, it sounded great. It's not as complex as we thought.
Right. But when you got attitude behind it, you know what I'm saying, and a passion behind it, boy, motherfuckers will take it serious. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
It looks like Elena wants to listen to some music. She got her headphones on. She's like,
All
I
right.
want to listen to some music. You want to listen to a song?
Yeah, whatever you want to hear, man.
Cool, man. I got your YouTube pulled up right now. What song do you want them to hear from you first?
I don't remember. I should have put you a playlist. Let's see. You know what? Let's just start off easy here. We'll go with my latest single, Remember When. That's my, that's like my,
Okay, right here.
yeah, that's my latest kind of real, actual, like, distributed release.
Okay.
I remember those.
Hold on there, buddy. All right, everybody. We
Kicks
are
right
gonna-
off. Kicks right off.
We're going to get into this, and again, make sure you guys take advantage of the link in the description. If you don't know who this is or haven't heard his music, you're going to fall in love with it. This is Wolf 7, Michael Lanthier, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. I want to make sure I got that right. This is Remember When, official music video. Let's go.
I remember those cool tries. Just set adapter disc and hope the anti-skip is working alright tonight.
Love you, Elena.
I've been chasing's finally sitting to my right. End of the night, 200 horses, 25 years ago. 87-cent gas. Fuck it, let's go with my friends to the show. Or maybe we're going nowhere. We don't know, we don't care. We're still gonna go. So one day we'll remember when the night was ours to win. We laughed and cried, got in trouble and even died. We'd almost died, but we'll do it all again. Just so one day like today. Just so one day like today I'll remember. one day I'll remember when.
Yeah, Wolf 7 right there, giving them the soul. I love a great nostalgia track, man. It's some of my favorite shit, bro. To be able to go back, 25 years when gas was cheap and your car drank a lot and you didn't give a fuck. And again, you may not know where you're going to end up for the night. You might end up. I've ended up in fields just doing acid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know where you're going to end up, but it's going to be a fucking night, dude, and you will never forget that shit. So shout out to memory tracks, man. I love that shit.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's an interesting song too. This ends up being one of my biggest songs to date in terms of numbers and whatever. But it's so interesting because this song happened in a moment. I literally got home from work one night or something, and I just had that nostalgic moment. I sat down and I'm just getting ready to kind of decompress, and I was just thinking of this other time in my life, man, when I'm like 15, 16, just starting to drive and chasing girls and fucking cheap gas and doing whatever the fuck we wanted. And I wrote the lyrics in 5 minutes.
Nice.
And then I actually had a hard time. I was trying to build the track as it was, like an acoustic kind of broke down track, but I was making it too dark or something. I was working on this progression for fucking weeks and it was pissing me off. Same thing, couple weeks go by, I come home in 5 minutes, I start fucking around on my guitar, thinking of something totally different. It's working on some other thing. I record it. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I pull my phone out and I got my lyrics from this song. And I listened to the guitar I just recorded and I fucking sung it. One track, one take, done. I'm like, it's crazy how that shit works, man.
That's so fire, bro.
It is crazy how that shit. And then, like I said, this ended up being one of my most popular songs, like, organically in the world right now. So,
yeah. Well,
you just never know.
That's exactly what it's going to be. One of those unexpected songs that you just wrote, and put out there. That you didn't think much of it, you know what I'm saying, except for how it made you feel. And it's going to be the one that resonates with people, dude. And it's going to be the one that pops you off, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be the one where, all right, you got a show in D.C. this Friday, or you got a show, out on the West Coast, or you got to start putting together a little bar tour or something, you know what I'm saying, around your area. That's going to be cool shit when you're not going to places to play other people's music, but to play your own.
Yeah.
Because playing other people's music is fine. I mean, shit, that's a great time. But it hits different when it's your music. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. I do very few covers that I actually release. I mean, I've only officially distributed 2 covers. And then my YouTube, I have quite a few more covers on my YouTube channel that I put up, but cover songs for me at this stage is really only a thing that happens when I have something going on where I have this emotional connection to something and I feel like I want to sing it or play it or something. And sometimes I use covers if I'm feeling a drought just in my creativity and I'm feeling I'm feeling like I'm not playing enough right now because I'm not creative right now. And for me, if I'm not in a creative streak, I'll just work on a cover. And most of the covers I do, it's the connection to the vocal or that I enjoy singing it. I don't really play too many covers that have much to do with the production, the instruments, the playing itself. It's usually something to do with the actual lyrical content. More than anything, so I don't know. And it's tough though. It's tough when you're independent to play live because I'm so focused on my own music, and I sacrifice so much to go do cover stuff. It's just not something like I'm interested in right now, to be honest. It's not something I do very much of.
I like that, Gary. I like that, Gary. Gary knows. Gary Yeah, we gotta get you on too, Gary, because I want to talk to you about some guitar shit too. I've been watching some of your lives, dude. I like how you're doing your videos with you playing both instruments in the video at the same time. That's a lot of editing and a lot of shit goes into that.
Hey, Gary's a badass man. He really is he's a bad motherfucker.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I didn't know you went live, so I'm gonna have to come in and jump in some of your lives too in the future, man.
Yeah, I do. I only stream for about an hour on Tuesday nights.
Okay.
I do kind of like music reviews. It's not reaction. I find small independent artists, and so far at this point, it's been all that are kind of within the community of people that I associate with in YouTube. And I basically start either where they want me to. Some of them will build a playlist for me to review, or a lot of artists, I've done 3 or 4 or 5 live streams. I just start at day one discography, and I go through their whole discography, and we listen to everything. I mean, some of them, because it's only an hour, we might only listen to 3 songs.
Right.
I really try to dig in and break down every little detail, everything that I hear that I can pull out of it, in the production and the arrangement and the music itself. And so far, I mean, as small as my channel is, people seem to enjoy it. I mean, again, it's a very small YouTube channel. I've restarted twice actually now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is my second restart, and I haven't put any paid advertising into it, and I'm already in a lot of trouble. So, but for how small it is, I mean, I have viewership that's 50% or higher than what my subs are. So, I mean, people are enjoying it that are there, even if it's few of them.
That's what's up, man. That's all we can ask for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I know when I started YouTube, I was a dedicated reaction channel. I would record my reactions, put them out, and I was doing that for like 6 months, and then I started going live once a week. And I would sit on live for like 8 hours, dude, just listening to music with people. Then it got to where about 3 years ago, I quit recording reactions altogether. I just was going live once a week, and then doing the music stuff, and then I would try to fill in the other days by, like, Monday we would make beats, Wednesdays we would listen to battle raps, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, like, I would have an interview or two, per week.
Right.
So, see, shout out to Weed again, man. I forgot where I was going with that. Some bitch.
I knew we'd get along. I do this every 5 minutes on my live stream too.
Facts, bro. Facts, man. But I still don't know where the fuck I was going to go with that. Son of a bitch. Well, let's go to the next question. So, where'd you grow up, my guy?
I grew up in Colorado, kind of central, right along the eastern slope of the Rockies. You know Denver at all?
Yeah.
Have you been out in Colorado at all?
I got to go through the Rockies one time during a blizzard. It was pretty fire.
Yeah. Well, like I grew up in a little town about an hour north of Denver. Well, it's not even little anymore. It's huge now, but it was a little town when I was there, about an hour north of Denver, right in the foothills. So
Okay.
I was born in a tiny town. I was actually born in a mountain town called Steamboat Springs.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, I think it's 11 or 12,000 feet above sea level or something like that.
wow.
So I was born very high altitude. But I grew up in that area, and I worked. I've spent a lot of time in Wyoming as well. One of my uncles worked ranch for a long time in northern Wyoming. I spent a lot of time there as a kid, a lot of times in the summer, and throughout most of my childhood up there. So it's kind of that area, I guess, growing up, just very rural, mountains, outdoors, camping, hunting, fishing, that kind of thing,
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because I grew up in Tennessee. I'm in California now. I'm in the city. I'm in Sacramento. But I live right outside of Memphis in a small town called Mumford. And
I know Mumford. I know the area.
That's what I'm talking about. So we'd get into all the same shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fishing, hunting, all that good shit.
Yep.
D's in the house. Come here, D. Come on, give me that hook. All love goes to you, D. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. That's what's up, man. almost forgot about y'all. Shout out to we. You know, that's crazy.
I sent my texts as soon as I woke up.
Facts. The first thing I did, I woke up, I called I went to the restroom first, and then I called my mom. You know, wished her happy Mother's Day. I didn't go see her today, which is kind of shitty, but I'll probably see her sometime this week.
I had to send the baby mama texts.
Oh yes, yes. I have not texted my baby mama for years.
Well, yeah, it's rough, man. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
I have a really good relationship with my kid's mom. So
That's good.
I'm very, very lucky that
My
we
daughter's
have that.
25 and out the house, so I haven't had to talk to her since
Yeah,
she
well,
was
that's
18.
that's different.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was like, I don't have
my
to talk
oldest,
to you.
my oldest is. I mean, he's an adult. He's almost 21, but he's in college still. So you know, we still keep a pretty more of a parental relationship with each other, just because he's still going to school and stuff. But
Yeah.
and then my youngest is 12. So
Okay.
yeah.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Fatherhood changes a man. How did that change you?
Man, I watched both of my kids get born, and I have a stepson too, but I watched both of my biological kids be born, and I was young, man. Again, my upbringing was very weird, all right, and I got married when I was 18. There's a lot of it had to do with that culture of my upbringing, but either way, we ended up having my son when I was 20. So I was real young, and I remember seeing him be born. And when I saw his face, it felt like I was looking at the baby version of me. And I still, to this day, vividly remember that moment of like, the world is different. Like, this is different now. Like, I can't be a kid anymore. I can't fuck around anymore. I can't play games in my life anymore. It doesn't matter what I gotta do. This is it now. This person needs a roof and fucking food every day. That's it, you know. So, it fucking changed you a lot, I would say. I would hope most people having a similar experience to me.
Right.
But it definitely changed my life. And, you know, even years later, you know, my daughter being, you know, that much younger than my son, different mother, different marriage, long story. There we go.
Shout out to we.
Yeah. What the heck? What the hell is he saying about him? Oh my God. That's horrible. Oh, when she was born, I'm sorry. Even when she was born, that many years later, and having that profound experience, I swear it felt like having that experience all over again. And I think a lot of that had to do with her being a girl, because my relationship is very fair and very consistent with all my kids. But deep down inside, dude, my daughter,
It's a bit different, right?
this is the way I try to explain it to people. If I'm walking in the woods and my sons are with me and there's a bear in front of us, I'm going to take a step back and see what they do.
Right.
If I'm walking through the woods and there's a bear with my daughter and there's a bear in front of me, there's nothing, you won't come through me. Like, that's how I kind of try to explain it to people. It's not that I love them more or less or anything like that. I think with a daughter, as a father, it's just the protective instinct is way higher. Whereas with the boys, it's more like you need to learn that hard lesson.
Facts.
You know,
You're absolutely right. I don't have a son, but I do have a daughter, and I agree with you immensely on that. Is that
Yeah.
sure you're gonna shield your daughter from all harm, you know what I'm saying? You don't want anything to happen to her because they are the fairer sex, you know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10. Believe me, I know there's women out there like China for the WWE that will fucking destroy me. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she will fuck me up, dude. I am not a challenge, even at her retired stage, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, men are the protectors, you know what I'm saying? And as a father of a kid, you know what I'm saying, who is female, you would give your life to protect her. Your boys,
Dude.
you hope they jump in front and try to help an old man out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just real shit.
Yeah, and I'd take it a step further. It's like even the boys. It's like I would, I give my life for my boys. I'll go to fucking prison for my daughter.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
that's another way, I guess, to look at it.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if
That's
there's
why-
anybody worth going prison over, it's your damn daughter.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Exactly.
Like, I
Yeah,
might
no,
even.
the
I might-
boys, they need to learn about not snitching, so they can spit. They need that lesson. So if they gotta go, that's. But yeah,
That's a fact.
You know what it is.
Hell yeah, Elena, you're absolutely right, and I appreciate that also, Elena. I've been trying to stay consistent for a while. Absolutely. Because that's the thing. If you stay consistent in what you're doing, people seem to regulate their schedules around what you're doing, and that's amazing that someone would even do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I got to catch the latest episode of whatever on TV, but a lot of people are cutting the TV off now, and they're going to YouTube and other platforms to get their content. And if we can't be, we're going to be this time this week, you know what I'm saying? They'll never know when to show up.
Yeah.
Because I know y'all want to show up. I want you to show up. You know what I'm saying? We want to meet these people. We want to talk music. We want to listen to great tunes. You know what I'm saying? Paul said that first car ride leaving the hospital was a hell of an experience for me. I buckled up and was just like, damn. Facts.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Just
Yeah,
like,
it's a
holy
wild
shit.
thing.
It like changes you molecularly or something, like on a
Yeah.
cellular level, dude. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure mothers
I
go
think it
through it as
does.
well. I just never really was close to my baby mama. Like,
Yeah.
it's about, I don't know, it was probably like 2 weeks after she told me she was pregnant. We were only together for 3 months. It was about 2 weeks after she was pregnant. She's like, I don't want you in my life no more. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we didn't
Damn.
even have an argument, dude. That's crazy as shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was like, is she fucking with me, dog? Like, what the fuck? She's like, I'm gonna call the police. I'm like, why are you tripping, dude? This is fucking weird shit. So after that, we really never got along. I mean, we did hook back up again, for some bang bang time, but that was about it. And then after that, it was like, I don't know. She started doing all kinds of fucking weird shit and drugs and fucking. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
she just dropped my daughter off at my doorstep when she was 11. She's like, "You take care of her." I was like, "Okay, no problem."
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been very fortunate, but in fact, both of my exes, it was pretty amicable from the get go when we split. So
Yeah.
we were able to kind of put the kid. It's tough. I mean, I know how hard it is, but we figured out a way to just put the kids first, man, as much as possible. But
That's all
I
you
know.
can do is try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like there was a period of time I didn't see my daughter for 6 years. My ex, she took her out of state. I had no idea where the fuck they were.
oh,
And then all of a sudden I got a call one day, "Hey, we're back. You want to see your daughter?" Fuck yeah, I want to see my daughter. I had fucking
Yeah.
6 years worth of presents for her birthday and Christmas.
yeah,
Because every year I go out and buy something for her, you know what I'm saying? And I just stash it away. One day she'll get all this shit. And I knew it, in my heart, I knew it. Even if it was the day she turned 18, it's just like, I want to go find my dad. She'll get all this shit,
right, yeah,
So luckily it came way before she turned 18.
yeah,
And at that point, seeing all that, and it's just material dumb shit, but the meaning behind that is like, you've held on to this shit for that long.
yeah.
You know-
there's still it is whatever is material things. It's still a lot of thought
Right.
in the entire process, considering you weren't in contact.
Exactly. Trying to
That's-
make up for 6 years of shit in like one Christmas, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
it's not easy, but that's a fact, D. That's a fact. And she was
Yeah.
constantly on my mind. How could your kid not always be on your
Yeah.
mind, especially you have no idea where they're fucking at,
Yeah.
And that
Yeah, it's
was
honestly
crazy.
scary, man. Honestly.
Right? And I've always been the type of dude who never had a whole bunch of money, so it isn't like I could
Yeah.
just hire a private investigator, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Go find my daughter. Here's no money, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was never
Believe me, I
happening.
know.
Right. That was never happening.
Yeah, I think anybody who has anything to do with trying to make music knows what it's like to have no money.
Facts. Facts.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to kids, man. Shout out to being able to raise productive members of society for those parents, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have great parents and just shitty kids and it doesn't happen, they're just pieces of shit. We get that. But sometimes they're piece of shit parents that raise piece of shit people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a homie. He's my best friend who lives here in the trailer park. His name is Chris. His mom is a terrible person. But he had a
Yeah.
good dad. Well, a stepdad that taught him right from wrong, good from bad, shit like that. And he was still a piece of shit for a long time. But then he had his first kid and everything changed.
Yeah,
You know
this
what I'm
happened
saying?
for a lot of people. It's what
Yeah,
does
because
it
he's
for a
like,
lot
I'm
of
not going to be my mom. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a big thing with me is not being my parents is a huge.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of touched on it already a little bit, but that's a big thing in my life, especially now, is taking away whatever you can from good examples and bad examples, and that's how I look at it with my upbringing. Is I don't run from it. I just look at it as this is what I don't do. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even as like, okay, so I've been diagnosed with bipolar and manic depressive, right? And I was supposed to be on lithium since I was like 16 years old. Well, I took that shit like 3 times and I was like, I don't want to take this shit no more because it just made me feel like I was high. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'll just get fucking stoned. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I was like, ever since then, I never took another fucking lithium pill. And I've never been in trouble with the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, weed
Right.
has kept me so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yo.
For me, that's me too. Like my cannabis use really is entirely tied to my mental health. I'm not a recreational user in the sense that I like to get high and be high to be high. I do like to be high, but the primary use for me, I guess I don't fuck we can get into if you want. I mean, but my big journey in the last 3.5 years, and about 3.5 years ago, like November 2020, was the third time I officially, as in people knew that I had tried to kill myself, and I ended up in the hospital for the third time in my life. I think I was in the hospital for like 2-3 weeks that time. And when I got out was when I finally really decided this was like enough. I got to figure out because if I really want to die, I need to just fucking do it, or do I want to live? And if I want to live, I can't live the way I've been living the last fucking 15 years of my life. I was daily blackout drunk, like daily blackout drunk, and just all the symptoms. I'm diagnosed with severe post-traumatic stress after my 10 years in the Army. And with those symptoms not being dealt with, and then drinking instead to try to cope with everything in life, I was a real fucking mess of a human being for a good decade at least. So this whole music journey really starts then for me, because I needed something to fill the time, because for me, I was a functional drunk. I wasn't a call out and a deadbeat. I made more money the last year I was drinking than I ever made in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a hustler and a functioning motherfucker. I'd get up in the morning if I was still drunk or hungover. I still went to work at 6
Yeah.
and worked 12 hours, So and I'm not excusing anything or trying to sound cool. I'm not cool, and I'm not.
No, but that just shows the type
But
of...
I still did what I had to do. Even as a piece of shit, I was still a good father.
Yeah.
In terms of what I provided. So I had to find something to fill that time, though, because that was my day. Every day was, by 12 I'm shaking, and by the time it's 4 or 5 o'clock, all I can think of is getting to the liquor store. And I wasn't a social drinker at all. I'm not a bar drinker. I'm gonna buy a giant bottle and a case of beer and go home and drink it.
Yeah.
Doing something probably stupid that's gonna make me emotional, like watching a video or looking at pictures or stalking somebody on fucking Facebook or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
That is going to get your ass riled up. So anyway, so I turned back to music, because music is kind of what saved me as a child in terms of just having an escape from my abuse and just the life that and by the way, I had a lot of good things in my childhood too, and I still had a lot of normalcy even within the confines of being in a cult all of the kids, we still did all the things every fucking kid did. It didn't matter.
Kickball, all that good shit.
Well, I mean, even just to create the teenage shit, we still ran around and did drugs and fucked each other and all that.
Oh, okay.
You know, we did what kids did. It didn't matter how much indoctrination and bullshit we lived in the religion and all that. We still were kids. But going through the things I did at home, though, music was the escape. And so it was kind of the natural inclination when I got out of the hospital and decided I really have to fucking do something positive with my life, was to go to music. And I'm the kind of person, I get obsessive. And once I picked the guitar up, the first thing I did the first day was think, well, how do I record? And so I started researching how to record, and I'm like, okay, I need an interface to go on the computer, and then I need software that, and then oh, cool, I found this fucking interface. It comes with the software. And I bought it, and then I'm like, well, what am I recording for? How do you get music on Spotify and all this? And I'm like, oh, it's fucking easy, $10 a year.
Right.
So I just became obsessed with. I've always been obsessed with music anyway, and I've always played. You know, I played in bands throughout my teenage years. Even in the Army for a brief time, I was in a unit with a couple people that were musicians, and we actually got together and had a band for the 3 years we were together.
That's fine.
We played over in Iraq, the second deployment, all the time, and you know, so it was like, again, it was a natural inclination to turn to music as something to replace all the bad coping mechanisms that I was using in my life. And then I just became obsessed with, all right, let's fucking go all the way. Let's fucking go. And so through
then
that
you started
time,
meeting people on the internet, talking
right,
with them.
But kind of, I believe it or not, I am going to bring this all the way back around to weed. So, all right, so, you know, at any given point in time post my service, I've been prescribed up to 17 different psychiatric medications to take at one time.
Holy shit.
So I've never taken more than 2 or 3 at a time, you know, for any extended period of time. Now, when I got out of the hospital, I did decide that I needed to take something for my depression, my anxiety, just as a safety net, because I didn't know how I was going to be able to handle things without drinking. Turned out, drinking didn't really bother me at all. As in, not drinking, I never really thought about it another day. I can go to the bar and sit down and eat food with people, partying all night. Alcohol doesn't bother me like that for some reason. I'm
That's
lucky.
fire.
I'm blessed. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. The thought, I've never identified with anyone else that's an addict and tells me they're sober, they're in recovery. In fact, the words even feel weird to me.
Yeah.
I just don't drink.
That's how I feel about meth. Like, although I'm a recovering addict from a meth head, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It never crosses my mind. If I see a
Yeah.
fucking tweaker out in the street, I'm not like, I wonder if I can
Oh,
get
I
some
wish.
shit.
Yeah, I want to be
Right.
that.
I mean, I live right next to a tweaker, right? Like,
Right.
I ain't never over there, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me get
Yeah.
some of that, you know?
Yeah. No, that's how
It
I'm
never
with booze.
even crosses my mind to do it again.
Right. And you know, I think too, the reason it was so easy with alcohol for me was when I really decided this had to change, like my life had to change. Like I was really at a point where it was like, it probably is better for me to just die. Not like desperation, because I've had desperational suicidal thoughts and desperational suicide attempts. I was at a point where it was not desperation anymore. It was literally just like, there's no purpose for me anymore. And I think I had worked my way into a better mindset so quickly, especially because of music, that the alcohol was just like, I don't need it. It's not even it's not a thing. I was never a daily struggle for me. I was never somebody who had to wake up and write affirmations in my journal that I wasn't going to drink, and I never had to do any of that shit.
Yeah.
But I did have I was taking antidepressant and an anti-anxiety for about 1.5 years. And I had a horrible experience. I quit both of them cold turkey. And I had a horrific experience. I had almost 3 months of withdrawal from my SSRI. Horrific things. I had feelings in the middle of the night every single night. I had an hour of feeling like I was being electrocuted from my spine up to my brain every day for 3 months. The inside of my stomach lining became extremely inflamed. It looked like I was wearing a spare tire underneath my shirt for 3 months. Just like all kinds of basically every horrific symptom you can have when you quit cold turkey and antidepressant, I got.
Wow.
And I needed relief and I started researching psilocybin. I started researching cannabis. And of course, because I am sober, the circles of and I say circles, I was never close to anybody, but I did do counseling and therapy for about 2 years, like weekly, counseling and therapy after I got out of the hospital. And it's just, even my alcohol counselor, who was a very cool guy, he was not like an AA kind of guy, which I can't stand. I don't align with them in any way. He was very cool about that with me and everything, but he was still very much a, like, if it's not prescribed to you, you shouldn't be doing it kind of person. And so I had a lot of apprehension, and I decided, listen, I'm going to dig into this. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to actually research this thing, because I need something, and I do not want any pharmaceutical relief for anything that I have. I have a lot of pain too. I have a fuck ton of physical injuries. Technically I'm 90% disabled according to the VA. I've been shot. I have shrapnel in my body. I'm shorter than I was when I can't feel 4 of my fingers. I'll never feel again. I have a lot of physical problems. So I have pain too. A lot of pain. And so I didn't want pharmaceutical things, and I didn't even want to make it a habit of over-the-counter stuff, because you take so much of that shit in the Army. Like, if anything happens to you in the Army, you get water and 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen. That's what you get. Doesn't matter what happened to you, what's wrong with you, that's what you get. So I figured, between my drinking and the amount of ibuprofen they give you in the military, my liver is probably on the verge of fucking dying. So I don't want pharmaceutical stuff. And I really started very light. I started using a lot of CBD products for inflammation and my arthritic pain that I have and my nerve pain, and it helped everything almost immediately, and without being something where it's like I take it and I feel it and it's like, oh, I'm on a drug that makes me feel better. It just felt like things in my body were actually healing.
Right. Instead of being in pain all the time, you're just not in pain.
Right.
I'm not fucked up, but I'm not in pain.
Yeah, exactly. Very
That's
different than like very different experience than an opiate, which is
Muscle
really
relaxer or
you're just
something.
getting high to get through it, basically.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
so, but probably the most profound experience I had was the first time that I really went on a very, very deep psilocybin trip, which was about the first time I had used any psychedelic in maybe 20 years. It'd been since I was a teenager. And it was the last thing I had done was maybe 18, 19 was acid. So I hadn't had an experience like that. And then being at that point that I was at in my life, in terms of kind of getting myself better and getting myself productive again and having meaning and purpose, I went on this really profound mushroom trip that basically I came out of without any need ever again to really feel that I need something for my depression, my anxiety. Those things were just not in my vocabulary anymore after that trip. And after that trip, I recognized that using cannabis at the end of the day for me gives me a perfect balance in my life. It gives me a perfect balance of calmness, because one of the biggest symptoms that I do still struggle with very, very strongly is kind of reacting very quickly and very harshly. Temper. And the cannabis use has almost completely just quelled all that.
That's fire.
So basically using psilocybin maybe once or twice a year for a very purposeful and meaningful thing, and then kind of nightly light cannabis use has basically got me to a place where I have no pharmaceutical medications for pain or psychiatric needs, which I have also. I have many other diagnoses too. I'm also major depressive and ADHD, all kinds of shit. Which I think they like to just hand that shit out now anyway, because they don't really know what the fuck's wrong with people. But either way, with all my diagnoses, I should be on like 10 fucking psychiatric medications, and I am on none.
I love it.
I'm well within my bounds to be on fucking fentanyl prescribed to me for my physical pain. I'm not on any fucking pain meds. So I'm okay with forgetting where I'm at in a sentence every now and then.
Facts. And again,
sorry for the long story.
No. This is why we're here, man. This is exactly why we're here. We're here to get to know you, man. So Again, thank you for sharing these stories with us, man, because this is something that I believe the supporters want to connect with you on these levels, right? Because a lot of us have been through, similar things, either with the kids or the pain or, just whatever it may have been. And that grows the bond stronger between supporter and artist, right? And I love the fact that you go live once a week. That also grows that bond even stronger. I would always suggest the artists go live once a week, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube or wherever it may be, and just really resonate with your supporters, man. Because
and I told you, it's like my shit's pretty small, but it's like loyal as fuck.
Right, and you're not
loyal as fuck.
Ain't no Rolling Stone gonna be able to write an article saying Wolf 7, is this or that, because the people fucking know who you are. They're gonna spend years with you. I've been at this for 5.5 years.
Some of them have.
Right, exactly. And I know a lot of these people here in the chat, they've been here with me for most of that 5.5 years. They know who the fuck I am by now, you know what I'm saying? There's no way you could just play the role for that fucking long, that many hours on end and just be... It's physically impossible. You're gonna fuck up at some point,
Or fucking go to the hospital like I did.
Facts, facts. That's a fact. Hey, you guys ready for another song? I know you guys out there are ready for another song, man. Do you guys have a favorite you want to hear? Gary, I know you said you're going to request that last song we listened to first, and it was like, boom. So we already know you're on that level, my guy. What song do you want to hear, Gary? You still in here, bro? I'm sure you are.
I think he's in there, yeah.
We'll give that viewer a request right now. Pookie, what's your favorite? Yeah. We take a request. Elena, what's your favorite? D, if you don't know this man's music, definitely hit the link. It's got his link tree in the description. You'll be able to find all the places to find his music and socials, and tap into what he's doing. Great talent, just all around talent.
Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. Breather. Okay. We got Breather in first, so we're going to do Breather.
And I do have my my artist channel link, so if I don't have an official video, it should be in my playlist for just like my regular releases.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not sure. I don't think I made an actual video for it.
Well,
no, is it not connected? You might have to go to my my topic page.
is it in here?
No, just type Michael Lanthier. Yeah, this channel's about 9 months old, so.
Shout out to the Lily Pillies, man.
There
There it is.
There we go. And it's off of, it's on home.
Okay.
Be the one at the track 8, yeah.
There we go. This one is for you. I'm gonna hit a subscribe on that too, and a like. Ah, you're the best. Thank you.
Seems like life's putting something in your way. Take a breather. When it feels like it's something new every day. Take a breather. Yeah, sit back, close your eyes and take a breather. Yeah. Oh,
Man, that is some guitar work right there, my guy.
I was gonna apologize. Sometimes I get a little carried away. The
Nah,
songs
there-
go a little too long.
Look, there's no need to apologize. And the reason I say that is because that is making your guitar sing the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? I love a good instrumental. You know how many times I sat there and just listen to Pink Floyd just fucking play their instruments for a fucking hour, you know, not say a fucking word, you know. That shit is so cool. The Grateful Dead, you know what I'm saying, just going off for fucking 45 minutes, just playing the keys and the fucking guitar, just jamming out, bro. That shit's amazing.
Yeah, there's always. I think everybody has a time in their life, a pretty regular time in their life, where something to just vibe to, whether it's in the car at night or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Just something to just be in the background, just to kind of feel something. But they don't need to hear somebody singing or rapping. You just need something to vibe to, you know.
Exactly. And you know, growing up, you know, being like a teenager in Sacramento, right, in a fairly decent city, there was musical influences everywhere. You know, I was the type of dude in high school to where I would hang out with the Cowboys, I'd hang out with the Jocks, go play football, I'd hang out with the Stoners and play some hacky sack, you know what I'm saying? Go over to the smokers corner and smoke cigarettes. So I was really everywhere, man. I was with the rockin' dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was
Right.
doing rock shit too, man. I ain't give a fuck. So having all that music around, you know, it never put me in a box as a person to where I could go. Like, some of my friends couldn't go hang out with the Jocks because they were nerds, you know what I'm saying? But I'd hang out with the nerds too because I was like, fuck it, y'all are cool as shit, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I am socially too, and then, you know, definitely with my music.
Exactly. You just
Whatever.
touching all the bases, you know what I'm saying? And that's cool as shit because you're going to bring people in from all over the place, and they're going to be able to converge on all your music, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to pick out what they like and what they may not, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But at least they're going to vibe with something. And some people will come through and be like, "Oh, you do that as well? Fire!" You know, and that's dope.
That's all I'd say to anybody is like, if you hear a song you don't like, just wait and listen to the next one because it's gonna be different.
Facts. Yo, Sacramento equals sack. Facts. That is a fact. He said, "What?" That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yo.
Like
Y'all-
Elena had a request too for whatever you want to do next too.
Oh, I pulled that up. It's on standby.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Second eye are neighbors. That's
I'm
facts.
horrible at paying attention to the chat, but I'm trying.
I
I hardly pay attention to my own chat, man.
I pop the chat out of my dashboard and I stick it right in between us, so I can't miss anything.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it right.
Oh, you see it on the screen.
No, your screen share, I just see you. I have my own popped out, but it's on the other monitor, so I'm kind of like back and
Nice.
forth.
Two monitors, man. That's where you gotta have it on the stream and shit. It makes
You
it so
have
easy.
to stream. You have to stream.
Yeah, I used to do it on one, and it was so hard because I had to keep my fucking
That's a
OBS
pain.
down to where I could barely see it at the bottom. You know.
I would actually, I would do the chat on my phone when I had one screen. I would just keep the chat on my phone, and then I could just have OBS on my screen, and I didn't really have to look at other things. I could kind of monitor from my phone that my stream was running, and then do the chat right in there. So
Yeah, that's smart. I like that.
Still
I never
pain.
even thought about it. Facts. The second monitor was like, holy shit, dude, this just made it easy. Now I want a third. You know what I'm saying? I want to put my studio up on one, OBS up on one, and then what I'm looking at on the third.
I actually bought a third monitor, and then realized I can't with my computer. I can only because you can't just split it. You have to run from separate graphics cards. So I have a regular graphics card, and then I have an output card just because I have a pretty nice setup. But I would have to actually install another fucking graphics card basically. You have to have one per monitor, so it's kind of You could stretch
makes
it though
sense.
off across. Like you could have another one and stretch them as one monitor, so you can
Right.
still use the space, but you can't have three, or you can, but you have to. Most computers won't do it. So
I know
I
my
tried.
computer won't. My computer barely runs as it is. Like I bought it
Mine's
5 years
getting
ago.
there. I got this one right when I started, so it's about 3.5 years now. So.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
did. The only thing I had to replace was the power supply on it, so that's not bad. And I bought it
Yeah.
refurbished as well, so that's pretty
Right.
fire.
Yeah, I got a pretty good deal. Because I'm retired military, I can still shop through like military services.
Oh, fire.
So they have an entire. There's actually two big companies that we can buy through. So I get pretty good deals on my computer stuff through that. So
Hell yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Y'all deserve it, man, for real. My mom and
we-
dad were both
we
in
can get-
Vietnam, you know, and they always wanted me to go in the military, but I was like,
yeah, I don't. I'm torn on like. There's a lot of things about it in our day and age that I think the only place you can get is the military. But I also don't want my kids fucking going anywhere that they would be going in this day and age to fucking go and fight for somebody's oil or gold or
Right.
fucking money or their whatever fucking agenda the
Resource.
CIA has. That I'm not cool with.
no, I agree, 100%. Yeah, but I do show respect to even people that have
Oh,
the
yeah.
balls to fucking show up
Yeah.
today and go do that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, yeah, for sure. It's still you got to have the mentality to do that
Yeah.
kind of stuff of the
Because
you
I
know,
even
just,
took that
like
what
not
was it?
ours to question why,
What was the test? The ASVAB?
The ASVAB, yeah.
I took
Yeah.
the ASVAB, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll take you," and I was like, "Nah, I'm good." You know, like
just wanted to see how I was doing.
right. I was like, "You want to take me and my girlfriend out to lunch?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll go out to lunch, and talk to you about all this shit, and then go take fucking tests." And I was like, "Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good." I have a problem with authority, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I always like if somebody tries to force me to do something, I'm always the opposite of shit. Like I
Right.
never got into the Apple thing, you know what I'm saying? I never once have bought an Apple product, you
Right.
know. So I'm just like I've always been like anti-culture, I guess. Like if the whole world's going along with this, I'm like that's weird, you know. I've always
Yeah,
been that
yeah.
fucking way.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. I get it.
Brunock just washed his hands. Now he's having a cigarette. That's what I'm talking about. You should always wash your hands before and after a cigarette. I'm probably not. I've smoked shit ton of cigarettes. So, what is your favorite thing to do outside of music?
That's a good question. But aside from
Like maybe
aside
a hobby or something, fishing or whatever you like to go do.
I mean, music is really outside of my obligations. Is kind of the only thing I have time really for to be as dedicated as I am. I mean, look, I love to do all kinds of outdoors things. I mean, I grew up doing all kinds of stuff. I've ridden motorcycles, both off-road and street bikes my whole life. I love outdoors. I love camping. I have a lot of things I enjoy doing. I'm just at a point in my life currently, I spend anywhere from 50 to 60 hours with my day job right now a week. I share custody of my daughter. My daughter's mother lives pretty locally where I am, so I see her quite often in the month as much as I can. And then a big collaboration coming up with 3 other guitarists and Gary Hubbs, who was here. I don't know if he's still in here. And then I have so much shit sitting in files right now. I mean, I have 10 albums worth of just shit that's just sitting, parts of things, and every now and then. I mean, I released a song today on a whim that I had a verse and a hook figured out, and the progression, kind of the arrangement done about a minute and a half of the song about 3-4 months ago. I woke up this morning and I was like, man, I really like that song. I sat down at the computer, and before noon, it was being distributed. Because it just hit me that I just had to do it. I had the second verse just popped into my head when I listened to the first verse and the hook again. I re-recorded all the vocals, mixed the fucking thing, mastered the fucking thing, and shot it out.
That's what's up.
You know,
What's your go-to DAW?
I use Studio One Professional.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't start with Studio One for any particular reason other than I found on Amazon, my interface, I got a PreSonus audio box that was on sale for $150, and it came with a complete PreSonus artist suite, I think. And I've now upgraded to the complete professional version, but I knew nothing of engineering prior, and because I started with that program, it's just been, I haven't even thought about anything else since then because I'm learning how to do it there.
Yeah.
So I've kept it in that, and it's been a great program for me. I actually haven't met very many people who use it.
I was going to ask you, did you happen to get on YouTube and go through some tutorials or anything, or no?
I do that when I need to, if something's really fucking with me, but I am the kind of person I really would rather learn through failures. I think I retain it better that way. I don't learn very quickly by watching or reading things. I'm a hands-on learner.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like even I work on my own car, and half the time it's not something I've done before,
Right.
but I know I can figure it out.
Yeah.
So I just do it, and I'm kind of the same way with my music. Even like my mixing and mastering, no fucking idea what it is that I'm actually doing on like a technical level. I just play with shit until it sounds
right.
what I think it's supposed to sound like. That's it.
Fire.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I say no idea. I have learned just through doing. I do understand frequency. I do kind of understand it, but very little. It's more just I know that's not right, and this sounds close to right, and then I play it again, and then I listen in the car, and I listen on the headphones, I listen on the monitors, I listen at somebody else's house, then I bring it back in the studio, and that I just play with it and listen to it as many places as I can until I feel like that's what I would think it should sound like if I just randomly heard this song come on the radio. Yeah. That's how I mix and master. So,
that's fire, because that's exactly what you're supposed to do is listen to the headphones, listen to the monitors, put it in the car, take it over somebody's 12-inch subwoofers at the house, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I have a real bad habit in the early days, especially when I was doing like the kind of hip hop and trap beats with guitar. I was not listening and fucking around with it enough, and there is some bass that will blow the fucking windows out of your house if it's played through the right shit. Nice. It's so low, some of it you won't even hear it in a car or your monitors because it's a frequency it won't.
You need at least 15-inch subwoofers to play this frequency. That's a fact.
Then you're gonna wish you didn't.
Right. You only got it on 2? Shit, done blew out the fucking windows, man. Come on, man.
Probably the only thing you can hear is the bass.
We used to go to those bass competitions all the time, man. The car shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Boy, I love that shit. That shit make you stop breathing. Boy, it'd be bumping so hard. That shit crazy.
Yeah, when I was still in Colorado as a teenager, the car scene was pretty big, and there was every car scene. You know, you had the classic car, but you had a lot. There was where I grew up, probably the most one of the more prevalent things was like the lowrider scene, and so there was always fucking huge systems with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it when they like shoved a bunch of speakers in a minivan and just like customized that shit out. They put fucking 10, 12s in that motherfucker. It'd just be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That shit's stupid, dude. You're running 35,000 watts through a stereo system. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yo, Paul is over there. Meet special
I was just reading,
operative.
what are we doing?
Advance to DC equals get in small car. Driver offers vodka or energy drink. Then watch out for drones. Yeah, Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. He's talking about some GoPro videos.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can see you can watch the whole fucking war on YouTube if you know where to look.
That shit crazy too.
Yeah, it was getting that way. Well, I guess the camera shit started happening pretty quick because I had stuff from even my first deployment in 05.
I was watching
guys
shit.
were recording a lot of shit even back then.
Yeah, they'd
now
be
it's
going
just
into
literally
cities.
the whole thing. You can just pretty much watch war live on TikTok now,
That's crazy.
which is get into that conversation, but it made me think of the fact that, like, just so people know, somebody speaking who has fought a war for a decade, just so you guys know, just for the in general, as like the emotions and the sympathies and the political ideological fucking battles and stuff that take place, I'm here to tell you guys something. The only difference between any of the wars going on right now and any war that's ever happened in history in terms of the fucking brutality and atrocities and the crazy shit you see, the only difference between the wars you're watching right now and every other war is you can now watch the whole fucking thing on TikTok. That's the only difference. Let me tell you, there's never been a fucking war fought, no matter how long it was, how short it was, and how fucking big or small it was. I'm telling you, this is just what war is. You just get to see it all day long now and have people go on the news and tell you how to feel about it all day. That's the only difference. It's just, there's no difference between any other fucking war that's ever been fought in terms of it's war. It's brutal. We're killing each other.
Yeah.
And people who shouldn't be killed die all the time. I'm not saying any of this is okay. I'm just saying, as just for, if anybody cares to have my fucking perspective on it, it's not because I don't have sympathy for all the people that are affected. It's not because I don't sympathize with all the innocent people that lose their lives and their fucking homes and everything. Yeah. It's that I've this fucking emotional connection that people have these days to everything drives me fucking insane. It's like, no, you're being exposed to it more intentionally and because of technological innovation. That doesn't change what it is because you now see it differently.
And what it has been, yeah.
Yes, it's always been this. And this is what human beings have always done to each other. And as far as I can tell from history, that's probably all we ever will do to each other.
Cavemen were beating the shit out of each other. You know what I'm saying? They was dragging them off.
The first person that walked out of a cave and came across someone they'd never seen before thought two things. Can this person kill me, or does this person have something I need from them?
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just reality.
Yeah. I mean, Genghis Khan was a fucking crazy motherfucker, and that it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Like 10% of the population, you changed the carbon footprint of the earth.
facts. Like they said, like most people have his DNA and shit. That's insane.
80 something, I think it's 85 or 87% of everyone alive right now has some form of DNA, not necessarily his,
Right.
but of his conquest.
Right. That's just unthinkable because there's almost 8 billion people on this planet.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it's-
you know, I mean, there's always going to be a shithead that needs to get taken care of. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
when in history it will be or in the future.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. You know, it'd be nice to think we could have a utopia without wars and stuff like that. But it takes good people to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? To protect them from the bad people. And
Yeah.
I think we do that probably the best here. Probably not in the recent years. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, we're the
corrupt-
best. We're the
but-
best at it. We just now do it for all the wrong reasons.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. No,
Thank
I
you.
mean, we are the strongest. I've had these conversations with people before and even posted things publicly about it. Everything that goes on in the world is by design.
Oh, absolutely.
100% by design. I'm telling you from my
There's no
experience.
accidents.
It's all by design. There's all an agenda. It usually has to do with money. In fact, really, it always has to do with money. And the reality is, like Russia, Ukraine, if there was actually any serious intention to say, hey, we need to stop this, it would take maybe 24 hours, 36 hours for the U.S. military to fucking decimate the Russian military.
Right.
Fucking incapacitate every single nuclear fucking facility that they have. And I'm telling you, I know this for
We did
a
it in
fact.
Iraq with the
They
fucking.
do it, and even a country the size of Russia and the size
Yeah.
of the military, a single U.S. carrier group carries more equipment, firepower, fighting force than most other countries, like entire
fleet.
fucking navy. Yeah,
Right.
and then we have 11.
Right. I was watching a video of like.
there's more planes. A super carrier depending on how it is configured and what planes are on it, at any given time, it could have more aircraft on one carrier than almost every other country has aircraft in their military.
That's insane.
Like, we could, if the United States actually wanted to end wars, we could end them in hours, not days.
Right.
If they wanted to actually end wars. We don't.
But it's Halliburton.
We're very, very happy with them.
There's an industrial complex
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
And
Yes,
you need
we're-
to feed the beast. That's a fact.
Absolutely. Some very, very fucking very, very depressed trillionaires that need another trillion that exist in the world.
Right.
A lot of people don't even realize that there are actually trillionaires. We hear only about the billionaires because those are the official things that we hear. There are trillionaires. Many of them are Saudi, and many of them are American.
Hey, look, man. Them dudes over there with the oil, right? Them Saudi princes and shit. I seen
Some of
this
them-
motherfucker have a $200,000 Mercedes with diamonds all over the outside of it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, they
stupid
had-
money, dude.
All the Saudi princes all have trillions of dollars just in gold.
Yeah.
Let alone like
Elena,
actual
thank you for
money.
that dono.
money.
I appreciate you, Elena. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. But
Yeah, no, we love war. And I mean the government, they love war.
right.
There's so much money to be made.
Well, hopefully, we could pull back out of these shits. Get shit calmed down over there within a calm time frame. I know we're not technically in anything right now, but we are funding a lot of shit, and
We
need to
don't
chill.
just. Yeah, it's just. Again, it's just that it. You don't want me to go down this rabbit hole conversation, man. But I'm telling you that the world is so much worse than people even realize, and it's just. Look, there's nothing. I shouldn't say there's nothing. There's very little, you can do at the individual level. I try to just live my life moment by moment, day by day, enjoy what I can to enjoy, and suffer the things I have to suffer. But the world is really in a rough fucking place right now, and
That's very well put.
Far worse than people I even think. I believe.
Well, that's sad. So let's get happy.
Yeah,
You want to get happy?
sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, we need to talk about things like this, every once in a while, and it's okay. I'm all for having open conversations and stuff like that. Doesn't bother me not one bit, and I agree with you on a lot of what you're saying. So shout out to you first off for understanding what's going on, man. I mean, you're a military dude. You have a military mind.
Yeah. I
You've
still have a
been
lot
around
of
and
very
saw
deep,
how things work.
and I still, for better or worse, I still have some pretty deep connections within the world actively at this time. So,
Okay. And they're able to tell you what's really going down.
well, and it's just that, and then you just haven't been around things too so long. You get an idea.
Yo,
You get an
Doug,
idea of how it works.
Dud Midkiff, thank you for coming through, man. I appreciate that. Dropping in while I eat. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Elena. That's right.
Yeah, he said. Jeremy said, "Puppet wars are kind of yes, absolutely." And if anybody was wondering, yes, we pulled out of Afghanistan where all the opiates are made once synthetic fentanyl became so abundantly available from China. Little coincidental.
How convenient.
Yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Sorry.
I was just watching a thing where Canada's having a real problem with the cartels up there bringing in chemicals to make fentanyl in Canada.
Yep.
And I was just like,
places,
wow,
place,
dude.
places like Canada, states actually like your state, California,
Oh yeah.
because unregulated, unlicensed grow and distribution is now only a misdemeanor. Guess where all South American and Central American cartels now grow? In California, because they can have an industrial-sized grow operation, get caught, and
nothing
it's a
happens.
misdemeanor.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with some of the laws in Canada. They're so soft on certain things that cartels have it makes more financial sense to take the legal risk of doing grows and distribution and production and warehousing and storage in countries like Canada because the consequences are so fucking small. So you end up just bringing a more dangerous element. I'm a believer in full legalization of everything, but I'm a little libertarian for some people's taste with that stuff.
I mean, if it like I could see that point being made, where everything's just legalized. But once you do that, you got so many people that are on the streets doing it, like right in front of kids at parks.
Oh yeah, no.
That
Here's the
shit
thing.
cannot be stand for. You know what I'm saying? If you're in your
The
house and you want to smoke some crack in your house. I don't give a fuck.
The consequences to society would take a generation or more to actually recover from of like full legalization. Be the first person to completely admit that. For one, you're going to have people who otherwise will simply never do something because it's illegal, because that's just how they live their life.
Right.
To where now that it isn't illegal, they may try something that they never would have and ruin their life or kill themselves.
True.
So there would certainly be horrific adjustment period to it. I just believe that the problem that exists currently with essentially cartels that I'm telling you from my firsthand experience, actually in active duty, are the real governments in a lot of these countries in South and Central America. They actually are the government. In fact, the United States government, we deal with them often instead of the real government. So, in my opinion, the pain of the societal changes is a sacrifice that would be worth making to cut the knees out of actual criminals that actually torture and murder people fucking on a daily basis. I believe it's worth that sacrifice, but that's just my personal opinion. I think that if you understand two lines, do you understand the line between adult and child, and do you understand the line between public and private? And if you do understand the difference between those two, I believe you should be free to do anything you want.
There you go. I agree with that. You know, and just like I was saying earlier, there's always going to be that shithead, you know, in society.
Right.
You know.
And those things, though, in a
those-
very free society like the one I wish we lived in, those things sort themselves out, believe me.
Right, and there's got to be a harsh punishment because
It's why men like me exist, to sort those things out.
right, yeah. Not everybody could do what some people do. We all have our reason why we're here, you know, on Earth type shit. You know,
Yeah.
that's a fact. Because I'll be that dude who just goes down the street smoking another fucking joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna bebop my way down, you know, and not take anything too serious. Not especially this stage of my life because, you know, younger you're always pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Like you always look back in your youth, and I was just always fucking mad at
all
things
that
that I could not control.
Angst and hormones. And
Yeah, and I learned along the way. It was when my daughter was gone for 6 years that I can't get mad over things I can't control. You know.
That's a lesson that far too many people seem to not ever learn in their life this day and age, man.
Yeah.
You know, when I figured out that most of my psychological issues were things that I had control over completely.
Appreciate you, Gary.
With my own thought process. You know, that is like the most important thing that I learned was the only thing I really have control over at all is my own thoughts and actions. Mm-hmm. That's really the only thing in the world you have control over.
Facts.
And as soon as I realized that that's what I needed to focus on, it became a lot easier to not focus on what I couldn't control. And then now I'm to that point in my life where that's just basically my day every day.
Yeah.
But I don't see it in the world very much.
Yeah.
I see people wandering around 60, 70 years old that still have the maturity and mentality of a child.
Right.
And their emotional control doesn't even exist. It's kind of sad that more people don't see that. I'm glad it's nice to hear somebody parallel the thought, you know, because it's just I don't see it very often, let alone hear somebody say it.
Yeah, because I mean,
it's most people's fucking 99% of people's problems is that exactly what you just said. Attempting to control what cannot be controlled and not controlling what can be.
Yeah, I refuse to have other people dictate my emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
Whether it's love or disdain or happiness or whatever it may be, you know, I'll make the decision whether or not if it's going to affect me. You know, of course, I love to laugh, so when people make me laugh, I accept that with open arms. You know,
Right.
but if something makes me feel a certain way, you know what I'm saying, I'll say, okay, cool. You know, that's how you feel. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
okay. I'm never going to be like, you're fucking wrong. This is why. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say who's right and who's wrong? You know what I'm saying? Most
Well-
of it's opinion anyway.
It's that, and it's also the only thing that you can really ever do to convince most people of a different point of view, perspective, where they actually may change, is
Pookie Ann, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Big salute. Make sure you come in on Friday. I got 2 free requests for you, okay?
you know, yeah, I lost it.
Sorry, I apologize.
You're good. No, you're good. It's just, I don't remember what we're talking about. Oh man, I know I've actually smoked more than I normally would. But
You know,
I'm
I always
enjoying
do that a little bit more online, you know, smoke
Yeah.
more cigarettes, smoke. I remember this comment I got. It was like a 5-hour long live. And the comment was, man, no matter where you're at in this video, this dude's smoking on something. like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be
Well, I
smoking.
want to be mellow. Yeah, I don't do this a lot. I don't do it often. I don't do interviews very often. So I wanted to make sure I was relaxed.
Well, I do appreciate you spending time with us and hanging out with us tonight. You've been an amazing conversation. We still got more time to go, so don't even worry. We ain't about to wrap it up just yet. Because we started at what? 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, your
So
time,
5, 6, 7,
your
8.
time.
Right. Okay. So we got a little bit of time left. I want to ask you a couple more questions, but first, I want to get into some music. Y'all want to hear another song? Elena gave us one to listen to. Why is this thing always slow like this? My computer is basically on its last leg, dude. I'm telling you. We got Like You Mean It up next. This one's for you, Elena. Let's go.
Just say it like you mean it. I don't care if it's true. Just say it like it's true. Just say it like you mean it until I believe you. Just say, yeah. Just say it like you mean it. I don't care if it's true. Just say it like you mean it until I believe you.
It gave me that fade to black feeling, you know.
I like the guitar.
Man, the favorite part about that song is that they just keep going crazy and it just fades out, so you never hear really the end of the song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of
Yeah.
like what you get there, is that you really don't hear the end of the song.
Right.
Now that I get to hear that from somebody who's actually made something like this, how did the end of that song finish?
I played guitar for like 15 minutes straight.
Whew.
But when I looked up and like I got to a point I started fucking up and I could fit, my hands were fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I see where I'm at, maybe in 5 minutes or something. And I was at like 21 something minutes in the song.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I just wanted to keep it around 5 minutes, I think, or whatever the fuck it is. I wanted to keep it around that time. I didn't mind it being a little bit longer song with an outro solo, but
Yeah.
I don't want to release it with a 15-minute long fucking outro solo.
Iron Butterfly did it.
Yeah.
That
I mean, I do.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do some crazy stuff with like my instrumental stuff, but this song, it works out the way it is because this song did very well for me as well. I released this as a single before the album, and it was a very, very, very popular song organically. And I think if I had done much more with the guitar, that'd have been the kibosh. So I think it worked out perfect.
Oh, it
the
was
way
beautifully done. Absolutely.
You got you I have appreciation from like the more guitar guys in the community, but then I gave kind of a ballady R&B kind of song to give a little bit, which I didn't. When I say give, I don't mean I did that to give that. I made the song what it is. After it being out, I realized the way it was received, the vocals, especially because the vocals are very easy to kind of just interpret however you want them to, however you want it to mean. And what my writing actually is very different than what most people think the song is. But with the melody and with my big vocals in it and just the feel of the song, I actually caught a lot of people who wouldn't normally be into the guitar. And then the people who are into the guitar are okay with me singing, even though they're only there to hear the guitar. So it just met this really nice balance for me. It did really well. It ended up with quite a few people in the distribution side of things growing a lot. I don't really equate my YouTube to the way that my music goes, just because of how my channel is and the things I say. I mean, I'm not even monetized, and I'm already have been made ineligible for monetization.
Wow. Okay.
I'm age restricted. Yeah, I'm age restricted now already. I have 150 subscribers. I have no idea what my watch hours are at, but I know it's nowhere near 4,000. And they already basically said you're done.
Wow.
So I don't equate. Look, I'm a guy though. The YouTube thing came later, and even though it was a short time, it's only been 3 years, 3.5 years. YouTube came about halfway into it, and for me, I've had a lot of successes that have nothing to do with YouTube and social media, and so I don't quite wrap YouTube up into the whole thing. As far as I certainly don't use it as a metric. I mean, I have gold singles.
Nice.
I'm not. So 150 subscriber YouTube, obviously the two things don't necessarily correlate.
Sure. No, I agree.
Right.
Sometimes you'll
I've-
see somebody who's huge on Instagram,
Right.
and they're running everything through
Well-
Spotify and other distributors.
Right.
But then you go to YouTube and they got like 32 subs, and I'm like, how
Yeah.
is that fucking even possible?
Yeah, well, that's the same with me, and I have a big Instagram, but I'm shadow banned. Like, and I don't mean like I think I'm shadow banned. I know people who work there. I'm shadow banned. I have 22,000 something subs or followers. Probably half of that is fucking bullshit. Like just bots and fake bullshit and crap and OnlyFans fucking pages, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I do know I have about a 10,000 organic real audience.
That's fire.
But here's my engagement. I'm lucky if I hit 200 or 300 on a post.
Of course, right.
It's totally shut down. I mean, I'm fucked. I'm done. I say too much outside of music and how I feel about the world. It's not well received.
I feel you.
But what I did at one stage when I released my first album is I actually went outside of that realm, outside of social media, and I actually did spend money on a real PR firm. And it put me in a place where now, when it comes to streaming and distribution and everything outside of what the face of your music and your brand is, I have a pretty strong foundation.
That's
so-
good too.
So it helps me a lot, and it also, again though, it's weird perceptions though, because you see somebody with a YouTube channel that's 150 subs, you figure how serious can they be, But it is what it is. I have gold fucking records, so I guess it can be that way. I don't know.
Exactly. It can be that way. I've seen it many times over the years, where sometimes it just doesn't correlate to YouTube, and that's
Right.
fine, because YouTube, it's more of a visual platform anyway, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? And if you're
yes.
not putting out high quality videos,
And that's the thing, like when I was talking to you earlier about like how many hours I work and then my schedule with my kids working music, I personally don't have the time to make real high quality edited fucking videos. Even though I know you can do things a lot, you can do a lot of
Sure.
things just in iPhone and stuff now. Believe me, I get it.
Yeah.
But I do literally everything alone.
yeah,
Not a single other person helps me, so I don't even have a guy or a friend or fucking somebody here that can like hold the camera for me.
right.
So
It's all tripod shit. Yeah.
I'm very limited on time to begin with. In fact, a lot of the more recent stuff, especially if it's undistributed, like my instrumental tracks, they might just have a thumbnail. Like it is what it is, and I know ultimately it is detrimental to the growth of the channel, but I have to prioritize what I have time to do.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Absolutely. And things will change at some point, and maybe YouTube will be like, all right, you're eligible again, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
when you get that time
Yeah.
around.
Well, and for me, I don't worry as much about it. It's just once they do it, especially the age restriction, nobody sees my shit.
I age restrict myself.
Right.
'Cause
But
I
I'm saying
don't want
though,
children in here, you know what I'm saying? Like my
my
Yeah.
videos when I upload, I always do over 18. But
Yeah.
when they actually age restrict your channel, you never go into the suggested feed of fucking anything. Even if somebody's listening to your video, none of your other videos will be suggested next to your own video once you get into the realm of fucked I am.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But it's cool. People share
Yeah.
my shit, man.
That's the key.
The people here share it.
We
and,
do this, yeah.
Even if it's fucking 2 people or it's 150 people or if it's 1 million people, I know for a fact the people that are at my YouTube channel want to be there because they
Facts.
had to try really hard.
Yeah, they didn't just stumble across this, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
15
Exactly.
Ben is in the house. 15, what's up, my guy? Big salute,
Another-
man. I hope you and the family are doing great. I hope your mom had a great Mother's Day. I hope your wife had a great Mother's Day. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Another one of my collaborators on the upcoming EP.
Another
Instrumental
amazing
guitar
talent.
work.
We gotta get
Yep.
15 Ben over here for an interview, man. We haven't got him up here yet. And I know 15 for quite a while, over a year at least.
He's an incredible guy, but also like his story. I really would love somebody to just talk to him, to start from the beginning of him playing guitar and just go through the story of him getting to where he is now. It's fucking pretty incredible, man.
15, you hear that?
Really is.
You got to get that VIP seat. Come on, man. I know I follow you on Instagram. I'm gonna hit you in the DMs and set up a date. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and he's another guy too. He's very similar to me in that, you know, time is limited with us. You know, we gotta really prioritize and plan and stuff. He's got young one and family and regular job and stuff. You know, so I think that's part of what relates some of us to, you know, end up working together. But either way, great musician.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been enjoying his music for quite some time. Shout out to Snooks22 for coming through. Shout out to you. 15 hasn't seen himself in a while, or been himself. Oh, he hasn't seen himself. You're hilarious, Elena.
Yeah, I wore my shirt, Snooks. Sorry.
So
She like every time if I do a reel or something, and I do it with without my shirt on for a promo or something, she always giving me shit.
nice. That's what I'm talking about. So let me ask you this, man. This is going to just be a hypothetical, you know, just run with it. We as broke people, we're modest people, you know what I'm saying? I am a very
Yeah.
simple man.
I try to get simpler every day.
Right. But what I'm going to ask you is going to have to break out of that a little bit, okay? So let's say one of your songs blows up and you become a fucking worldwide star. You got all the money. Your kids got money, right? Mm-hmm. Where are your top 3 houses?
Okay, well, look, I'm going to do it with 3, but first I'm going to give you the honest answer. The honest answer is I'd have property somewhere in the middle of nowhere in the mountains.
And that
no
could
one
be
would know
one
where I
of them.
was.
Yeah.
And that will still be one of the 3,
Yeah.
All right? Because that's the reality of who I am.
Because I want my own farm. I'm going to build a slaughterhouse and
Right.
everything.
Yeah, no, I will have I would have complete self-sufficient farm, ranch, animals,
Oh, yeah.
as few people as possible around me, just the people I love, the people I trust.
Yeah.
And you'd probably find me roaming around the country playing hole-in-the-wall fucking bars that nobody knows exist.
Hell yeah.
That's what I would really be doing. But I'm trying to think now. Oh, man. Oh.
Doug, I appreciate that. That's super nice, brother.
Oh, another actually easy one. I don't know specifically the region or the city, but Japan is one of the few places I've never been, because I've been all over the world, and that is one place I haven't been, well, of many, but one of the places I really want to go. And I think there are things about it that I would love, and I would probably want residents there.
My homie Monk that just joined the chat, shout out to Monk. He was sending me property listings from fucking Japan not too long ago. He's like, we should go to Japan. I'm like, that'd be fire, because you can get a house for dirt ass cheap over there, dude.
Yeah. But look, for me, there's a lot of cultural things that I am fascinated with, and a lot of Japanese culture, both ancient Japanese culture and even modern things that I have a lot of fascination with. And again, a lot of it's because it's just happens to be one of the few kind of corners of the earth I haven't been to. Mm-hmm. And man, that really caught me off guard, man. I really would have to. I am so simple. I have never thought about even the idea of having houses in multiple places in the world.
Right.
Oh my God. I mean, oh, hold on. I can think of something.
We got 2 down. We got one in the middle of nowhere. You haven't really specified any
It would probably be in Colorado. It'd probably be around where I grew up.
Okay. And then we got one in Japan. I love it. I love it.
You know, I really have no idea. Genuinely, I have no idea.
He said, "I'm
'Cause
about the first house on the moon, bitches."
There you go. What was that? I saw a meme the other day. It's like our generations, we're like we were born too late to like explore the world and too early to explore space, just in time for World War III.
Right, just in time. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I love the island idea. Absolutely, Snook. That's a great idea. We were talking about that the last guest I had on. Island would be a preferred spot. I would have auto turrets, a helicopter pad, and a big ass yacht outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Actually, now, I just figured it out.
Oh, there you go.
That's my third place. I'd have a big boat.
There you go.
There it is. That's what I do. That way I can go anywhere.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And then,
And side note, real quick, I see 15th talk about wanting to visit Japan too. Anybody that's interested in listening to the best modern, like modern current ambient guitar playing guys, Japan.
I just did an
Some
interview with.
incredible guitar players doing like very, very reminiscent of like kind of 90s era instrumental guitar. Eric Johnson, some of the softer Satriani, that kind of stuff. There's young guys like teenagers in Japan playing their own music like that. It's incredible for anybody that wants to look into that. Japanese guitar players.
And I didn't know this. I was very unaware of this. But I just interviewed 2 Jamaican dudes that lived in Japan to do music, right?
Wow.
Huge music scene. Huge music scene in Japan.
Yep.
All kinds
Yep.
of music, which is fucking
Everything.
amazing.
The Japanese too. One of the cool things in that culture, there's music scenes that span. They're in parts of different eras. They'll have entire music scenes revolving around 80s rock, an entire music scene like American 80s rock. There's a lot of interest in like American music culture and stuff like that over there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fucking dope as fuck, man. Like, America has spawned so many influences through the world because so many people came from around the world to conjure here to have a free mind, you know what I'm saying? And just let their creativity go. After generation after generation after generation after generation of people, you know, we've spread so many great things around the world. We've spread a lot of bad shit around the world too, but I want to focus on the good, you know what I'm saying? And music being probably one of the best things that anybody could spread across the planet, because whether you're sad or you're happy or you're angry, music can give you that outlet, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, shout out to all those creatives, man, that really... Could you imagine living in a world that had no music?
You know, well, here, you made me actually think of something about this. You know, music. I would never compare different forms of art as in like their importance. I would never do that. I think that all art is important. I think all artists are important. I think some of the most profound things that we've seen creativity in the realm of the creative mind sometimes are some very simple, very small, short, maybe one thing in someone's lifetime that's so profound it's remembered generations after they're dead, you know?
Yeah, like Rick
You know,
Ashley's
art-
Never Gonna Give You Up. Never Gonna
Exactly.
Let You. That's his shit. And that
Exactly.
shit will be the
But
shit
like-
for until the end of time.
Yep. You know, like, but either way, art is so important. But to me, I think music has a special connection to human beings because rhythm and the drum has been a part of human culture and society since before society. Since before there was really society.
Yeah.
There was always at a minimum there was a percussion section somewhere in
Somebody was
people's
slapping
lives.
on something, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and not to get too like spiritual about it, but I think that there is something in us that music is probably one of the most important things outside of ourselves, because it is one of the things that gets in us, that it comes from the external, that you can actually allow in your soul and your heart and your mind, in a way that I think moves emotion more than anything else external does.
Yeah, because you can
it's just
connect
so many
memories
experience.
with the
Yeah.
sound. You know what I'm saying? Which is amazing. And,
absolutely.
you can't do that with. I mean, I can't remember the first time I stubbed my toe because there wasn't a song playing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
but that shit hurt. I bet. You know.
yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, you should remember like what you were doing when you stubbed your toe the first time. But you don't.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, but you remember the first time you heard a song. You remember the first time you probably, most people probably remember the whatever song was playing the first time they kissed someone, and
Yeah. Or first
you know,
slow
think-
dance with
yeah, all
somebody,
that kind of stuff. And then remembering that song and hearing that song often will take your mind right back to that place. But I think it's even deeper than that. I think it's spiritual. I think it's higher. I think music is something that, I really don't know how to explain the things that people create that are really something out of almost nothing, but I don't think it's out of nothing. I think it's something higher. I think it's true in all art, true art, honest art. Because there's plenty of grifting and everything, but the honest art, the honest creators. I really think if a lot of times if somebody would ask me, spur of the moment, hey, what was this? What inspired this song? I don't fucking know. I don't, honestly. Most of the time, I don't know. Something just comes in my mind, or I pick a guitar up, and believe me, most of the days I pick my guitar up, I run through some shit that I play all the time when I pick it up just to warm up my hands, and most days nothing comes to me. And the days it does, it seems to be the right thing, and it seems to work, and I just go with that process of it. And it's why I don't do a lot of vocal work. I mean, I've done a lot recently, and now I have an entire album out that's vocal, and I've been doing a lot of vocal singles and working a lot more technical stuff, getting a little bit more. Now I'm getting more comfortable. I'm starting to work my register a little bit more and pressing things with that, but I don't do a lot because, frankly, I'm not inspired to do vocals that often. I'm not inspired to write lyrics that much. And when I try to force myself to write, I hate it if I have to force it.
Yeah.
Music, I can force myself to sit down, pick up my guitar, and oftentimes 5 minutes later, I'm glad I did. If I sit down, I say I need to write a song, especially even if it's something I've already started writing. I'm like, man, I got to get another verse. And if I sit and force it, I just can't do it. I fucking hate every minute of it. And so my vocal stuff is very, very much it just comes to me. It just comes to my head, and it's often not because I'm trying to write, and I actually often have to pull my phone out and start writing because I'm at work or I'm doing something or whatever, and something comes into my head for lyrics, and I know if I don't write it down, it's gone forever. And I don't get it that often because I have that hard time with writing in that respect. So that's why for me, I really can't explain it. Even though I do write about my experiences, and I write about my life, and I write about how I feel about things, the way that they lay out and the way that I actually describe things, I don't know why I do it that way. It's just the way it comes out on the paper. And a lot of stuff, the hooks and the choruses, I just start singing them. I don't even write them. I don't think of. I hear the music and I just start playing around, and I start making melody, working different vocal. Like You Mean It, I didn't write that song. I
You was
played
just all freestyle.
the guitar track. I did the guitar. I loved the guitar, and I started building the arrangement. I didn't even know if it'd be a vocal song. I didn't know when I started making it. I thought it was gonna be an instrumental song. And I heard that beginning section kick in, the intro, and then the bass and the drums boom, and then it comes in, and I just started singing. I have no idea. I now understand what my story was after I recorded it, especially the verses, because I did have to kind of work on those outside of just being able to improvise, and figured out what the song was about. But I don't know where the song came from. I just sang it.
That's fire. That's pure authenticity. That's just straight out your heart. That's the only thing we as fans could fucking ask for. You know what I'm saying? Nothing manufactured, nothing pre-planned, nothing premeditated. You know.
Exactly.
I mean, of course, I love written pieces of work as well. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
the purest form of it is just let what's in out. You know,
Right.
and that's fire, bro. And Jay, I want to thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Complete, man, for real. Amazing artist, dude. So I'm glad you enjoyed those reactions, my guy. Hell yeah. I love the Australian hip hop scene, man. Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. All right, man. We are a little past the 2 hour mark, and I tell you what, man, I could go another 2 hours, dude, no problem. But we're going to wrap this up, you know, for podcast sake. But we will have you back on, my guy. I'll tell you what, man, we will have you back on. We
Yeah,
definitely
I'd love
have
to talk anytime, man.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
And we'll do like an album review or something next time, you know, a little mini interview with the album review and stuff like that. That'd be amazing, man. I'd love to have you back on, bro.
Yeah, I'm up for whatever, man. I had a good time, man. It's
Hell
nice
yeah.
to talk to you. It was really nice talking to you.
Same here, bro. Absolutely. Do you have anybody you want to shout out before we wrap it up?
I guess the only thing I really want to shout out, you know, I do have, this is really the first thing, this next project that I have coming up is the first thing I've really collaborated with anybody seriously on. And of course, there's 4 guitar players at 15th Bend. It's going to be featured on it. Hetriani, another guitar player, going to be featured on it. Development of a Void, another guitar player, going to be featured on it. And then the late arrival, we invited Gary to add his bass in the final track. So it's going to be a 5-track EP. Each of us are going to have our own song. I'm producing the whole thing. And then the final track is going to be kind of a magnum opus. It'll be about a 10-minute long song with all 5 of us performing in it. So keep your eyes. I mean, I put it all over Instagram. So
You know, it'd be dope to
people
have
see
you
what's
all
going
on for that album or for that EP review. That'd be dope. Have you all on.
I'm down.
That'd be fire. So
I would be cool with that, and everybody in this circle is on Instagram, so you know, we're all following each other and stuff. So you want to reach out to the other guys. I'll tell you this: although I take responsibility for this project, I speak for no one else on it, and everything they do is theirs, and their decisions to promote or to do what they do is their own decision. So you would have to speak to them, but I would be more than happy to do that.
yeah, the only person I'm not familiar with was the third guy you mentioned. What was it?
Development of a Void.
Yeah, I haven't met that person yet. I don't know who he is.
Yep,
but
he's
I would love to meet him.
he's probably a lot more introverted like me, so his presence is not as his presence in social media is very, very quiet.
Okay.
He is probably one of the finest guitar players though I've ever heard in my life.
That's fire. That's what I'm talking about. Immensely great talent that you run with on the YouTube side of things here, man. Great people as well. Shout out to all y'all in the chat, man. Shout out to the SGR crew. Shout out to you, Wolf7, for making greatly incredible content, playing a masterful guitar, man. I was thinking earlier in the interview how cool it is that everybody can have the same fucking thing but make it sound different. You know what I'm saying? It's really remarkable after all these years of having a guitar or stringed instruments. You know what I'm saying? People can still find ways today to make it sound different, which is fucking remarkable.
You know, even when you've been playing as long as like someone like me, even 2 guys playing the same exact thing, exactly the same tempo, I can hear the difference in each guy playing it.
Wow.
You know, I think with instruments, especially stringed instruments, everybody really at a certain point they become their own thing that no one else really is them. Even if you play their music, you're not ever quite playing it exactly the way they played it. You know.
Exactly, because all your pressure points are different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it makes it sound different. That's fire. I never even thought about that side of it, but that's fire.
Yeah, everybody really has their own thing.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And they're worthwhile in my opinion.
Facts. One more song to end it? Okay, we could do one more song, Elena, just for you, okay? Absolutely. I don't mind. It's Sunday night. I'm sure you guys are having a great time. I know I'm having a great time. I just didn't want to keep you guys here too long. I know it's a work day tomorrow for some of you. But let's see. Where are we going, Wolf? Where are we going with the last track, my guy?
Oh man. You want something instrumental or you want some vocal? You know what? Let's do this. Here, I'll give you an idea of my transition. This is an official video in here. It's just a lyric video. Go down. You're gonna go to. Let's go. Keep going. I'll show you. Let's do. Keep going. Why can't I think of it? Keep going. But let's do Burden That I Keep. Now, the reason I want to do this song is this was a very big transition for me. Just real quick. This is the first song I wrote completely on my own, the lyrics. The first 5 songs that I did vocal work on, I actually had a co-writer. And this is the first thing I wrote and released on my own. And it was also in kind of the transition of me really figuring out mixing, and it's just kind of one of those in-between songs. A lot of things about it are technically not real sound, but it's just a real important song to me. Not even in the content of it's very important too, but just the stage I was at making music and having written the lyrics to this. It's actually one of the songs a lot of people think is my best writing, which is weird because it is the first thing I ever really wrote for a song. So anyway, I'll be quiet.
No, I love it. Monk, I will definitely hit you up a little bit later. And Jay, you always will see me every weekend starting from Thursday to Sunday. We usually have 3 interviews a week, and then on Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific, I go live and we listen to music. And I take requests and all that good stuff. So if you ever want to come by on a Friday evening, it might be Saturday for you. I don't know if you're in Australia or not. My dude Monk is from Australia. He's from Adelaide right there. And yeah, man, we just have fun, every weekend, man, getting to know people and doing this thing. And today we got Wolf 7 in the building, man. Again, thank you for your time, brother. This was called Burden That I Keep. Let's go.
I feel every day. I'm tired of the way that I see everything. Each moment that comes makes me think it's all okay. I'm reminded of each day that took it all away, and I can feel it staring, the weight on my chest. I can taste it in the air with every single breath. He's my foe and my friend, the beginning and the end. Never lied, no misspoke, never had to pretend. And all of the things he's taken from me had a grin like a gift meant to set me free. Yeah, he set me free. Let me tell you about my friend, Here's the feeling you have in the night when you clench your fist tight. Terror and fright overwhelm you despite your locked doors. Prayers are poured, knees on the floor trying to settle the score with blood from raising your wrist. Don't even try to resist, cause his hunger persists. On the souls of my enemies I subsist. You think that you know me, haven't even heard my story. I've had a co-op with the night since I poured just before you were weaned off the titty. Started screaming, scheming, turning, dreaming to demons, selling your nightmares as fantasy. And fuck your tattoos, fuck the chains that you're wearing, the medals on my chest tell a story that's actually worth hearing. Fuck the bullshit that you spin about how hard you've been living. I'm gonna teach you soft punks about red blood, and we're struggling and stumbling down the road with no shoes on your soles. Stumbling through your life, wondering where your soul goes. Yeah, wondering where your soul goes while you wander down the road. While you wander aimlessly, ruminating, anticipating, anxiously waiting for meaning to enter your life. I've already made mine, accepting and participating by relating to the darkness that I see. It doesn't exist externally, it resides deep within me. Yeah, it resides within me. It's the burden that I keep, that I keep, that I keep, that I keep, that I keep.
Powerful stuff right there, man. Powerful stuff, man.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yo. Wolf, man, again, thank you for your time, brother. I really appreciate talking with you, man. It was a great conversation. You're welcome here anytime, brother. That's
I
100.
appreciate you, man. It's like I told you before, man. I've been lurking around you for a couple years, man. I'm not a stranger, even though I'm not interacting a lot. I've been around.
I appreciate you just tuning in and hit the like, my guy. And now I know you're always with us, you know what I'm saying? So that's fire, man. And happy Mother's Day again to all the mothers out there, man. You are what makes this planet fucking worth living on. Let me just tell you, okay? If it was just a bunch of dudes in here, it'd be even worse than it is right now. It'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be dumb, bro. But yeah, shout out to all the moms out there, man, for real. I love y'all. Shout out to the SDR crew. We'll be back at it. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to be over on Evie's channel doing some live reactions with Evie. We're going to be getting into the rest of the Kendrick Lamar, Drake disses. And then from there, probably another day, we're going to start doing like one a week Eminem reactions. I don't know any Eminem music, well, outside like the mainstream stuff, you know, because I don't really listen to him like that. But I've heard some songs lately. I really enjoy his writing and the way he sets up his rhyme structures and shit like that. So if you guys are interested, go over to EV Family, subscribe, and you know, hit that notification bell. I'm gonna be over there probably once a week from who knows how long, hanging out with him. So that shit gonna be fire. Anything else you want to promote before we take off, Wolf?
Nah, man. I don't promote well to begin with, and everybody that finds me seems to be the right people, so I'll just let it keep happening.
There you go, man. Make sure you guys hit that link tree in the description below and follow the music, follow the socials, and you know, enjoy your life. If I know I won't see you guys until Thursday, so have a continued blessed week going forward, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace.